I saw this post on Chief Talk today and downloaded the plan and looked at it. And it's a great plan with a lot of little quirks in it. I think a lot of people could learn a lot of things about this. She's trying to create a kitchen with a flat ceiling over the kitchen area and then a cathedral ceiling over like the breakfast nook. And there's a lot of problems with the plan, and it gives me a good chance to go over a few things. So let's take a look and see what we can do. Hey there, Gina. This is Steve at Chiefskills, and I have your plan here. And there's quite a bit going on, and I realize you're new, so I thought I'd use your plan as an example. And it looks like you're using the Chief Experts template, which has a few problems, so it doesn't make it any easier. So I'm going to do a few things here that you don't have to do, but it's just the way I work. So the first thing I'm going to do is double click this little arrow up here in the top left corner. And I am going to not show the reference grid because I just don't like seeing the darn grid. Now, the biggest problem you have to start with is the roof. So you do have different plan views. So I'm going to open up this plan view, which I think comes with that Chief Experts template, which is great. Roof plan view. So right here, this is how it's set up out of the box, the Chief Experts template, but I would advise you to make a few changes. And the first thing I would do is just hit the little tildes thing on your computer in the top left corner. Tilde, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. And I would go here. You're going to be in the roof plan layer set right here. And I would look for overhang and turn it off. You don't need to see it. Then I would type in this filter box the gutter. You don't need to see that either. Just turn those two things off. And then the next thing I would do, you could just click on this roof plane if you want. And now I have a hotkey. So let's just go back to the layer set here, roof plane layer set, and look at roof plane. Just that's all you have to type is roof PL. And I would change the color to this like bright blue and change the weight to 50. And in the roof plan plan view, I would make it solid so you can see it. And then you can turn your line weights on and everything's easy to see. Now, if we look at an overhead, just a perspective overview here of your house, you're going to see your roof is, it's got problems. And the biggest thing is this piece of roof right here laying flat. So I'm going to delete that right out of the box. Actually, I'm going to delete all the roofs. And so I'm going to go here, select the roof plane, and then hold my shift key and drag a marquee around and delete the roofs. I don't know why these didn't delete. It doesn't matter. And then another thing I would do on this roof plan view layer set is you can also go here and go edit view. That I right clicked on the plan view right here, edit view, and then go to defaults and layer set right here and hit define. And then I would go to the walls, and I like to click right here and just look at the ones that are being used. So walls normal is used, and what I would say is lock that layer. That way there. The other thing I would do, you don't have to do this, and you can turn these on and off, but rooms, I would lock those too. So you're not selecting them. Now you can't select the room. See how I'm clicking right here? And you can't select the walls. And so let's go back over here to this plan view. And over here, you got this as an invisible wall, and I'm not sure why, but I'm just going to delete that for now and just bring this over. Now, another thing you have wrong here is this actually is an interior wall that you've drawn out. So I'm going to pull it back, and I'm going to pull this back. And then wall exterior, we're just going to hit this wall tool, get an exterior wall and draw a wall right here. And it looks like your 6 wall is the wall that's default. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And just drag this so it lines up right here. And I noticed you got this piece of wall here. I'm not sure why that's broken right there, but I'm going to drag that through. I think you got the same thing on this side. I'm just going to drag it through. And you did the same thing here. This is actually, if I double click on it, it's an interior 4 wall. You don't want to use those for outside walls. So what I'm going to do is select it, hit Control B, and break it right there. And then double click it, open it, and make it a siding 4. I know you have brick on it, but we'll deal with that in a second. And then this one here is siding 6, and then I'm going to make this one here siding 4. You don't want to use interior walls for exterior walls if you can help it. And then these are okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I guess starting, maybe right here, I'm going to double click this and go to the roof tab. Actually, I'm just going to select all these. In fact, these two also. And these, I'm just holding my shift key and clicking. And this wall and this wall. And then I'm going to come down here with the little door and open them. Go to the roof tab and make them all hip walls. And I'm going to make them 8-inch pitch like you've got, but I'm only going to make the overhang 12. That's another thing that's in your Chief Experts template. Dan sets those to 18. I'm not sure why. And I'm going to click OK. Then this wall here, I'm going to make sure that it is a full gable, which it is. And then this wall I want to make as a full gable, which it is. Now, let's open up your defaults. Go to this little wrench right here and go to roof. And let's just go through these defaults for a second. Here's where your overhangs are set. And I would change those to 12 and make this 0 height, raise or lower. And you may have a number in there, and I'm just saying if you do, just make it 0 for now. And on the options tab, this is another thing that's in the Chief Experts thing that I think you should change. You want to make this plumb and box Steve. Dan's from Minnesota. Maybe they use a different system up there. I'm not sure. On the structure here, I would make this 16 inches for now, but that's set up like if you're going to convert to trusses or something. So it's up to you. You can leave it at 24. Then here on the structure, I would make this 5.5, and I would set this up in your defaults so it's that way. And then I would say you need to click this, use room ceiling finish, flat under eave soffit, change your ridge to 7.25. Your ridge normally, if you're like using stick framing, would be one size greater than your rafter, which is this 5.5. So that's what I would do. And then the rest of this is okay. Rafter tails, ridge caps, all that's fine. Gutter, I use the OG gutter, but you can use this if you want. I would have a freeze. I'm not sure why Dan doesn't have a freeze in here, but -001, which is a stock molding. It's actually a baseboard molding in Chief. I would just use that and change it here to 3/4 by 7.25 or 5.5. You could make it 5.5 if you want. It doesn't matter. And then everything else here I think is fine for now. Just click OK. OK. Now, let us open the roof plan view here and say build roof. Go over here, double click this, and say build roof. And I think we're good. Let's just say let's see what happens. There you go. So you've got your roof built. That's simply, really. I did notice over here on your working plan view, the door really isn't in the center of the room. So let's center that. And then let's draw a line here. And then let's go over here to your roof plan view. And I can't see that because it's CAD default, but we can just draw a line right here. And then let's just drag this roof and center it right there. And then let's copy this right here and reflect about and just flip it right there. Let us fix this. And what I think we will do here is click this roof, no, this roof, and pull it like this and like this. You got to do a little manual editing here. And then click on this, and you see you got these extra nodes right here. Come down here and hit this tool, and it'll simplify the polyline. And then I think we can just get rid of this. And then this roof right here needs to come through all the way. So let's click on here and hit your 2 key and join right there. And then let's grab this roof and pull it down. And then, so now this roof is going through, but we don't want it to go through. So we're going to make a few edits here. I'm going to take my 3 key and break it right here at this hip, right here in the middle, and then right here at this hip. And I'm going to pull this up to here. And then I'm going to hit the 3 key again and break this right in the middle, and this one right in the middle. Then I'm going to pull this over and pull this over and click on this edge, hit my 2 key and join it right here. Click on this edge, use your 2 key. Same right here. And here it looks like it's joined, but you can't trust it, so just use your 2 key and join them. And we are good to go. Now, I'm not sure this is how you want to build this roof, but for this exercise, I've just left it. If you wanted this roof to go through all the way, then this gutter board would be a lot higher than this one. So I'm going to assume you want to do it like that. And let's just take a look at it real quick. And there is your roof. Now, you see you got a couple little holes right here. That's easy enough to be fixed. So here on the working plan view, I'm going to go up a floor. And you've got this attic wall right here, and I'm just going to drag it. It'll ask, do I? Yes, drag it. There we go. And then if we look at it, it's somewhat fixed. And sometimes these fascias don't work out right. Let's see what we got here. This is a attic wall. Okay, looks pretty good. So sometimes to fix these fascia, all you have to do, and I'm not going to guarantee this works, is to just move this a little. And sometimes that fixes it. And it did. See that? That's a Chief quirk. The only way you can learn that is by coming to Chief Talk and asking questions. That's how I learned it. So no magic. Now, I have textures turned off. And you sent this file without a lot of these textures. So there you go. It's actually easier to see in a different view, really. Something like this, and then it's trying to think here, and then turn the textures off. And I've put that on my, well, I thought that would work. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. There we go. And now you can kind of see the roof and how it works, and that's pretty good. I'm not sure this is exactly what you're looking for, but you can kind of see the method there. So that's pretty good. So let's just take a look at some of the other issues with your plan here. As you can see right here on this plan, you got attic walls like everywhere. So, and you don't need them. And I'll tell you what you can do. You can double click this wall right here, wall icon. It'll bring you to the default settings for walls. Open the general wall and turn this off, auto rebuild attic walls. Just turn it off temporarily and then delete these. You don't need them. And I don't know if you need that. This one, obviously, you don't need. These don't line up. So I would just take this and hit Control G and center it there. And same here, just line them up. You can hit your F9 key so you can see what's going on, and you can check these walls to make sure they are lining up. See, like right here, this gable end wall is in the wrong place, so we need to pull it out to there. And this is probably an interior 4 wall type, which it is, and you don't really want to use that throughout. So you'd have to pull that back to here and then go down a floor, click this wall, hit Control C, come upstairs, hit Control Alt V, which is paste and hold position, and just make sure these windows and doors are out, and then open that wall. There's probably an easier way, but this is how I do it sometimes. You just make it an attic wall. And then you can, copy it. Come down here, hit copy, and reflect about. And if you can get a center here, which you can't, I was going to say you could copy it, but you can't. So I am going to go down a floor and just draw a line, a CAD line, and hit Control G and center it in the room. What I'm going to do here on your working is turn this roof planes off and the base lines so they're not in my way. Control G, Control X, and then go to your roof plan view. No. Go up a floor. I'm sorry. Control Alt V, paste it. Now you can click on this wall, copy it, and reflect it about. There you go. Now this wall needs to be a little longer, so let's pull it down. And that wall is an exterior. It's an outside wall. And one thing I would do is, Dan has set up all these wall types with this light gray. But especially in like design development, I think you should have these some kind of a color. I just make these a blue or something. And click OK. OK. And then if you go down, those are that color. And then this siding 6, let's just make it a different color. Go in here to definition and change this to, I don't know, a purple. Maybe make it 50%. And it makes it a little easier to see. And I just turned off my reference display. And then on interior walls, I usually make those yellow. But make them whatever color suits your fancy, as they say. You can pick one of these yellows. I don't know which one works best for you. Maybe make it 75 or something. No, that's too light. 25. There you go. There you go. Now you can see those a lot easier. I don't know. For me, I'm over 60. So you can laugh and say, yeah, if I'm ever there. So you might not be that old. But it makes it a little easier for me. So the other thing I like to do on this working plan view is to turn things like this off. And what you can do is turn this on, which is your active layer display. See where I checked that right there? And then if you click on an object like that, you can just easily reach over here and just turn them off. So your electrical fixtures are off on your working plan view. I mean, you might want to turn them off and on. This is your working plan view. You can just do whatever you want in this plan view. So I see you have this dimension right here. I would just pull this in. But okay, so I don't need this or this right now. Let's just look at this. So the next thing that is going on here is you have done the cardinal sin in painting your walls. And what I mean by that is if I double click on this, this is a siding wall right here. And what you've done is you've painted the siding with brick, which is fine. But really what you should have done is, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, go to your materials tab and click on this, and then click here in your plan materials, use default, and click OK. And then if you wanted this to be brick, what I would do here is I would just change the wall type. Go here and just select brick 6. Okay. Now it's the wrong brick, but that brown brick is in your plan. So we can go here, click on this texture, go to plan materials, and then hit brown. Where is it here? Let's find it. Brown mixed use brick, and click OK. Click OK. So now let's change this wall because you painted this one too. See, it's siding 4. Let's just make it brick 4. And it already is that defined brick. Let's double click here. And let's make this brick 6. And we're missing our gable end wall here. So let's go back to your working plan view. And let us just go upstairs here. Why is this not showing? I don't think it's showing. That's weird. Let's go back to this overview. Oh, it's not lined up properly. Oh, because of the brick. So let's just double click that wall and change the wall type to brick 6. Okay. And we got to align it or something. It's not aligned properly. Let's click on it and see what is going on here. Oh, your materials are, you painted them. So let's just click here and say use default. And that should fix it, I think. Let's look at the overview. There you go. So painting walls is like a big no-no. Don't do it unless you have no other choice. So again, let's just change this wall type to brick 4. Check the materials and make sure they're right, which they're not. Click up here to use default. Click OK. And we'll leave it at that. And this brick 4 is the wrong one. So let's go to the wall type. Go here. Click here. And find that brown mixed use brick. There you go. And I think this wall here might be wrong. What is this right here? Let's go to the materials and just change these to default, because I didn't do that on that wall. There we go. So we got this coming together slowly but surely. And then let's look at your working plan view here again. And we're on the attic level right here. So let's go down. And right here is where you want this flat ceiling, and then this is going to be vaulted. So let's just look here. This is all one room. So, and you have no ceiling in here, I bet. Let's look at it. Structure tab. And no ceiling. See, you have that marked there. So let's use the default ceiling material too, by the way. And then the materials tab here, the floor finish. I'm missing this texture. That's why that is showing up. So what I'm going to do just to have something is I am going to, I don't know if I can find something here. I'm going to purge things that aren't being used and just see if I can find something in here that I could use. I'll just make it wood flooring for now. And that should be good for now. And let's just I'll just put the floor camera in here and take a look and just see what we've got. So this is the ceiling of our roof, and you can see your lights are all whopper jawed or what have you. So let's just go in here to your working plan view. And what you need to do is click the wall, and then see this right here. This is a dividing wall. And just click and draw this across. And then over here in this room, on the structure tab, say flat ceiling. And you'll see it change to like a stud wall. And then what I would do is I would just click it and drag it, maybe to here. And if we go back in here and I'll double click this camera, you'll see there's a wall in there now. Well, there's supposed to be a wall, but it's probably not there because I deleted your gable end wall. That's right. So I'm just going to click this, go Control C, go upstairs, hit Control Alt V, and it's an invisible wall, which we don't want it to be. So we're going to go to the General tab, unclick this, make it an attic wall, no room definition. And then if we go in here to our full camera, you'll see there's a wall. And that is how you do that. Now, there's some other things wrong, but that generally will get you started. And, you know, to improve these views, like this view right here, if you go here to this little symbol, it's the Edit Active View camera. And what I would do is turn this ambient occlusion way down. I'm no expert on this, and I turn this bloom off, maybe edge smoothing. And on the Adjust Lights tab, I'd select all, Control A, and turn them all off. Oops, Control A. And then I would, in the kitchen, just turn these recessed lights on. You should experiment and see what looks good for you. But you don't need all these lights on, and I think you'll find this looks a little better. It's a little dark, and so what you can do is come over here to your working plan view and click this little light symbol and add lights. So these don't show up anywhere, but if I just click 3 of them in here and we go back to the camera, you'll see it brighten up. And you don't see those fixtures. They're just in there. And you can adjust the height and what kind of lights they are and all, but I'm not going to do that right now. But you can see how that works. So let's just take a look. Here's your roof plan. Here's your overview with no texture, just so you can see it. And here's a full rendered overview. And I can hit the hide camera and it'll take these walls, exterior walls off, and you'll be able to see inside these rooms. Sometimes if I hit the, you get a little brighter. But that is how I would do that. And then we can turn that back on so you can see here. There is your house, and I'm sure this roof isn't exactly what you want, but it'll get you there. And hope this video helps you, and maybe you learned a few things. It's a complex program, so just keep plugging along and you'll get it. Thanks for watching.